Hello everyone, my name is Eliya Ulfa. I major in English Literature at Sultan Agung Islamic University. Today I'm going to retell Chapter 1, A New Outlook, and Chapter 2, Bewilderment, from the book Tales with a Twist by P.L. Jones. So let's go to the video. A New Outlook. The story starts from Laura. She was a romance writer. She lived alone in her home. When she was 20s, her parents had a car accident that made her father passed away, and her mother survived permanently crippled. So she took care of his mother, and 2 years ago, her mother was died, and it made Laura leave everything, include the garden, and but no, she wants her garden back, and she tried to redecor her garden by herself, but she was incapable. So she called a landscaper, and then a man was coming, and he was Charles, landscaper, who would help her in her garden. And Charles asked permission to take his daughter to come with him when she was not at school, and he also taught Laura about his regular job on Friday and Saturday. Laura was agreed, and Charles started to come to redecor the garden on Wednesday on morning, and then on Thursday, on Friday and Saturday he couldn't come because of his regular job, and then he came again on Sunday with his daughter Elizabeth. She was expert at garden, so she would help her father to do his job. And then Charles didn't come for a week, and on Sunday he started to do his work, and then he finished off all his work on that day. Even though they didn't meet, Charles and Laura kept in touch, and sometimes Charles called Laura to ask about her garden, and they were getting closer, and Charles started to tell Laura about her wife who died because cancer, and it made Charles and Elizabeth decided to move to the city so that Elizabeth could go to school and make a lot of friends. And also Laura and Elizabeth was so close. When Laura found that Elizabeth was going to town, she suggested to hold a birthday party on her garden, and they agreed. And then 3 weeks later, a birthday party was held in Laura's garden, and Elizabeth was invited, all of his friends, and they all were very happy. And like most of the romance story, it has a happy ending. 12 months later, Laura and Charles had married, and then they lived happily and lovingly. The next story is Bewilderment. One morning in early December, Richard was woken up from a deep sleep because the ringing of the phone, and the call was from Wild Radio XYZ, which invited Richard to join to the Christmas competition. And fortunately, Richard was answered correctly, and then he would get a gift, and he should take it in the radio office. Richard arrived at the radio office, and then he take his gift. When she would go out, there was a woman who came with a little rush and crashed into him, and then she apologized to him and went out to take a bus. But unfortunately, the best have passed, and as a man, Richard gave her a ride, and in the car, Richard introduced himself, and then the woman, her name's Melissa. Richard thought that the name was very familiar, but he couldn't remember it. Richard tried to listening to the radio, and his number came up as one of for the winner. And then he went to the radio office to take the ticket for travels, accommodation vouchers, and then ticket for concert. And then 6 days later, he had a flight to Hamburg as a gift for the winner, and he really enjoyed the vacation. And then he flight back to the London. Life continued, and on the morning, Richard had an email invitation to come to the opening of a new company, and then Richard came, and there were greetings from the owner, and Richard was surprised because the owner of the new company was the woman who kept his house cleaned, and also evidently Melissa, she was her daughter, and then Melissa and Richard had a little conversation, and from the moment at the party, they were getting closer. Spring and winter have passed, and now it is summer. Richard stood in the garden, which already said, and he waited for Melissa to join him. They finally got married. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed and have a good day, and see you in the next video. Bye.